through these doors is presented by Gate City Bank.
What can be done today to create a better way of life? We can end hunger, homelessness, and violence. Acts of kindness, compassion, and teamwork bring us together and keep our community safe. Every day at Gate City Bank, we're building a better tomorrow and a better way of life.
Quick starts have been a major focus for this year's North Dakota Hockey Club. With the 18th ranked Mavericks in town, that urgency was evident from the opening draw.
A start is definitely one of the most important things in a hockey game. You don't want to be trailing ever. It's way harder to come back from a deficit.
Coming out with a hot start and getting that early lead is very important. It obviously builds a lot of momentum and sets up the rest of the night. So yeah, it's definitely important to jump out early and get that first goal.
Chipped it past the defenseman Scanlon, catches up in the Omaha zone, breaking to the net. Constantini, Gaber moves in, shoots and scores! Snapped it by Seville for its 12th of the year, and it's 1-0 UND.
We always talk about get ready for your next shift, and Mark Senden, coincidentally twice on Friday night he did, and they were big. They were huge goals for us coming out of the penalty box, and that's what an experienced guy does. You know, he's ready for each and every shift, and he made the most of them on both plays.
Sends it out of the box, gets the pass, put it out in front. They score! Caulfield! And 2 times now, North Dakota's man out of the box, and North Dakota scored to make it 3-1.
I think it was definitely a good start to the weekend for us. Obviously, we didn't play our best game on Friday, but I think good teams always find a way to win, and we were able to come out with a big win on Friday night. So that was definitely a good start to the weekend.
We did some good things, and it was positive, and we capitalized on the chances we got, which is good. But overall we came in and we said it wasn't our best game. And then going into Saturday, again we had a good start. We were playing really well, up 2-0.
To Gaber near side of the net. Ford centers to Caulfield, who buries it. Pretty power play goal.
Honestly, we didn't allow very much in the third. They got a power play goal and a pretty fortunate bounce. Obviously we got to be better in that third and really take control of that. Learn to shut out that game, but in the end we got a point out of it, and we just got to move forward and look ahead.
For the most part, I thought we played the right way, and probably on this night, on Saturday, played well enough to win the game outright, to win the 3 points.
It's disappointing because we felt like we played even better than maybe Friday, honestly, but you know, sometimes that just happens in hockey. It doesn't go your way, and you just got to use it, learn from it, and move on as we go into the next weekend.
From a young age, Brendan Budy knew his life would be different. However, he's never let his condition dampen his desire to make a difference.
I was 8 years old when I got it. Didn't really know at the time, obviously, what it was. I remember I was just in school, and my mom pulled me out, and I had to go spend, I think, 7 days in the hospital, and then another 7 after that at BC Children's Hospital, which they specialize in like diabetes and stuff like that.
I can tell you, when Colleen phoned me to say, you got to meet us at the hospital, Brendan has type 1 diabetes, I was just floored. Like, I didn't know what to think. I was in shock. I think after spending that week at the Children's Hospital, they really educated us on the disease, how to manage it.
I think, the first question for me was I going to be able to play hockey? And, they reassured me right away. they brought in a kid at the time, but he's older now. His name is Anthony Ast, and he was playing in the Western Hockey League for the Vancouver Giants, and you know, he had type 1 diabetes, and he just like told me that he's playing and stuff like that, and yeah, I mean, that kind of, you know, showed me that, like, I mean, obviously it's going to be a little harder, but you know, that I could still do it if I wanted to.
It's amazing how small moments in time can impact you for a lifetime, and how it can change your outlook on things.
Hockey was his life. I mean, it still is, but he realized that he wasn't going to lose that, and so it changed his attitude. And I think it gave him a lot of hope after, you know, this boy came to visit, which was just an incredible gesture on their part.
Just kind of growing up with it, I kind of learned how to manage it with hockey and stuff, and you know, kind of every day is still like a new challenge. You know, when you're out there, like, sometimes it may go low if, you know, you're like skating hard, or like, you know, sometimes your blood sugar may be a little higher, where you kind of give yourself some instant to bring it down. So, you know, there's sometimes I have to take a shift off or take a little bit off to have a juice box or something like that.
With Brendan, you know, there's a couple things going on. First, the physical side of it, you know, obviously being aware of his body and where it's at. I think that's a continual thing that you always have to look at. And then the other thing is the mental side of it too, as far as making sure that even though that, you know, he's dealing with something a lot of other players aren't, that you have to be positive in the approach of your day, and I think he does a good job on both.
Calder finding Budy in front. Brendan Budy able to tap it home, and North Dakota's on top.
Well, I can speak as a mom. I have Snapchat, so I can see his face on a regular basis, and he just knows I need to see his face in the morning. That's mom checking in. But knowing that he's got really great roommates who definitely, they know the signs of if he's low, it's very reassuring.
Being at home, being his roommate, he's got insulin all over the place. We have to have some juice on hand, fruit snacks, sugar, just in case something happens. So I've learned a lot just from being his roommate, and it's pretty cool to see how he can juggle both, being a diabetic and a D1 hockey player.
Getting to live with him, it's definitely, you see how difficult it is, and I think it just says a lot about him, how mentally strong he is, and nobody really realizes how difficult it is, and he does a really good job managing that for sure.
He's just a very caring person in general. He's always there for you if you need something. So yeah, it's been a treat to be his roommate, and it's been really cool to see what he's been doing.
He called us one night, this just before he wanted to make the post, and he said that it's something that he'd been thinking about for a while, and he wanted to give back.
Yeah, it was something, you know, important to me. Kind of just donating my own money, like kind of like raising a goal, I guess. You know, my Instagram post is kind of like, you know, let everybody know.
To be honest, I don't think any of us thought it would take off the way it took off. And, you know, it got a lot of traction, not only in Grand Forks and in the States and in the NCHC and stuff like that, even up here, because you get someone like Anthony reposting it, and then the Canadian Diabetes Association reached out to Brendan and were having, you know, posting on their site and stuff like that.
I mean, I kind of got into it with the American Diabetes Association too, for the Giving Hearts Day. I helped them out with like a little video and stuff like that, and like had a lot of people reach out to me, and, you know, I've tried to respond to a lot of people. I guess the same thing is like trying to use my platform to, you know, like show people that I'm here, like, you know, playing hockey and going to school, and like obviously I have type 1 diabetes, but it didn't really like stop me.
Yeah, no surprise there. I think just seeing kind of what he does, and whether it's talking to younger kids or whatever, and being an inspiration to those young guys, and showing that he has those struggles and other kids do too, that you can still kind of compete at your highest level, and I think he shows a great example of that.
I know he got a lot of interaction with his Instagram post, and that's going to a great cause, and I just think it's really cool how he's giving back and trying to raise awareness for what he goes through. And I think it's honestly, it's inspiring for the younger kids too that look up to him, and the kids that are going through the same thing and they want to be hockey players too, just to like let them know that it can be done, and yeah, it's really cool.
I think the focus is, you know, there's other things out there. When the lights aren't on, that's the time we focus on other things. And as true servant leaders, I think that's what you do, is you don't focus on yourself, you focus on other people, on trying to help others. And it's nice to know that Brendan is carrying the torch.
He struggled with injuries this year, and so we're even that much more proud of him this year, because it hasn't been an easy year on the ice, which that often happens in their hockey careers. And we're proud of him that he has still been able to give back to others and still try to be an ambassador for something other than hockey as well.
And it shows a lot about Boots and his character, I think. He's a very passionate guy, and I think just kind of seeing stuff like that is a huge reason for kind of the person that he is. And you look at what he's able to do on top of obviously dealing with the diabetes is pretty special.
I think there's no doubt in Brendan, he realizes it. The UND platform is significant, and so there's a lot of people that he can reach out to and try to make a difference and just show them that anything's possible, right? Like you can't let this disease control your life or define who you are, as long as you respect it and manage it.
The goal is like to make it as far as I can in hockey and hopefully the NHL one day, but also like kind of carrying with me what I just started in December, and like along the way just kind of using my hockey as a platform to like show people and like kind of try and be a role model, I guess, for younger kids like that.
The 6-game homestand concludes this weekend with the CC Tigers landing in Grand Forks. And with 4 regular season weekends remaining, UND looks to stay in the Penrose hunt.
They're a hard-working team. They don't have any quit in them. I think we learned that when we went out to Colorado. Obviously, it's just another weekend in the NCHC, and we know what to expect, so we're going to come out, and we got to come out hot on Friday.
We played them twice in Colorado Springs, and we played pretty well both nights. We got the results we needed, and we're going to need to do that again. We got to bring full 60 minutes with whoever we have, whether we get some guys back from the injuries or not. We can't take any time off, because I feel like when we do that, that's when we don't get the result we want.
They're a team that's growing as the year went on, and you can tell. They've been playing games very tight, winning some games and losing games by a small margin. So they're a team that's gotten better since the last time we played them in December, and we're going to have to make sure that we keep getting better as well.
We talk about like the second half of the season, it's like playoff hockey, because every game matters, every point matters, and this is when everyone starts to elevate their game, and we need to do the same.
It's a sprint, like I said, we want to put our foot on the gas, and we want to make sure that we play with a lot of energy, and at the end of the day, there's a lot to fight for. We're fighting for the Penrose, we're fighting for being in the national tournament. There's a lot of things that we're looking forward to here.
I think the second half of the NCHC season is always pretty much just playoff hockey. I think every night, every period, we got to bring it, and our compete level has to be extremely high, and I think that's what we'll be looking to do on Friday night.